Like I said, the Eagles are not done yet. Matter of fact, Howie Vision may just be getting started. Hail the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh, Dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. You're right doing, King Dingbat here, and it is Howie Vision. We're all just living in it, no question about it. And we just talked about this in an earlier video. The Eagles are not done yet. They are going to continue to add depth pieces to this roster. We're not the Cowboys. We don't smell ourselves and think we're better than everybody else, even though we're not. We continually try to get better. And that's exactly what the Eagles have done today. And you know what? The Jimmy Moreland signing, who they just signed, is a great pickup, and we're going to talk about it in a second. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like. Make sure, more importantly, you subscribe. You don't want to miss daily Eagles content, daily NFL content, especially the year we're going into. This is the best offseason I could ever remember. Imagine what it's going to be like when the season begins. Crazy. You don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're not unsubscribed, because I just saw YouTube just took away about 15 subs. Most likely, when it goes out like that, I'll start getting DMs saying, hey, yo, Philly, I got unsubscribed to you. I don't know why. So just double check. Now, I love what the Eagles are doing this offseason. I do. I have no complaints about what they're doing. And even though they went out and they got James Bradberry, the Eagles continue to add to this roster, especially the cornerback position, right? They're bringing in a lot of defensive backs, okay? And I like it. Today, the Eagles claimed defensive back Jimmy Moreland off waivers. Per source, released by Houston last week, Moreland finds a quick home, according to Jeremy Fowler. Now, Moreland, a 2019 7th-round pick out of James Madison, Moreland has appeared in 30 games over his 3 seasons, but saw limited action with the Texans last season. And he'll now join a crowded cornerback group. That includes Darius Slay, James Bradberry, Avonte Maddox, Carey Vincent, Zeke McPherson, Tay Gowan, Josiah Scott, Mac McCain, and Craig James. And here's the one thing that you should know about Jimmy Moreland. The Eagles were interested in him last year, and they were also interested in him during the draft. So this is a team that has been watching this guy for a while, okay? And Jimmy Moreland, he looked promising when he was with Washington early in his career. The kid is 26 years old. He's going to be 27 in August. He had 65 solo tackles in his career, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, 5 pass deflections, or pass defenses, pass breakups, whatever the hell they call it. But Jimmy Moreland is another piece for the Eagles, that somebody that comes in with experience. The guy has, 30 games he's played. So you got Darius Slay, you got Bradberry, you got Avonte Maddox. You know what you have in him. And then when you look at all the other guys, right, there's a big battle. Zeke McPherson is the guy I hope kind of takes the job, takes the bull by the horn, because he's a 4th-round pick or whatever pick he was. So you want him to play good. Tay Gowan showed some promises, and I think this isn't even including the undrafted free agents that we have on this team. So the Eagles really, all of a sudden, they're going to have a lot of competition at the defensive back position. They're going to have a lot of it. And I would say right off the bat, I would say Jimmy Moreland probably has the best opportunity to come in and win a backup job. Just the fact that he's played 30 games. So I think this is a sneaky good signing by the Eagles. It makes a lot of sense, and this is somebody the Eagles have had their eyes on for more than just this offseason or just because he got cut. They were looking at him last year when Washington cut him, and they were also looking at him coming out of the draft. So to me, this is a great move, and this is what I expect from the Eagles. I think you're going to see this team continue to add depth pieces. You saw it in the defensive backfield today. I think you'll see it at safety. I still think you're going to go ahead and see it in the defensive line. And why not? Add pieces. You still have to think about this. You still have the June 1st cuts coming. Now we know some of the cuts, but there's other guys that are going to come or going to get cut June 1st or after June 1st that maybe we're not expecting. This happens every year. And if you remember, the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, they landed some guys late. I mean, they landed LeGarrette Blount late. I think they landed him in either late May, early June. That's when he came to the Eagles on a one-year deal. And that wound up being a tremendous pickup. I don't think the Eagles could win the Super Bowl without the combination of Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount. It was an important signing. So just because we may not have any big splashes, and we still could, you never know what's going to happen. But even though there may not be any of those big splashes coming, you still got to look at it and you got to say you can still really help this roster out, help the depth in this roster. Even in special teams, I want to see, we keep hearing about this Covey kid and some of these undrafted free agents we got in terms of like special teams, like punt returner, kick returners. I would love to add a piece onto this team that has somebody that's actually very effective at doing it. We haven't had a good returner since really Darren Sproles. It's been a long time. So I would love to see the Eagles add something like that. There's a lot of room. I still think you could add another running back. Why not? Why not add another running back? Maybe a bruiser back, a short yardage back. We don't know what some of these guys are going to do. If you look at our running backs, Sanders, Professor Kenneth Gainwell, and then Boston Scott. To me, I don't see those guys as big power backs who are going to be short yardage backs. Maybe you can add one. Now, maybe this kid Brooks from Oklahoma, the undrafted free agent, maybe he'll fit it. Maybe you can find somebody who's a veteran who's out there that may be available. So there's a lot of spots that on this roster to still improve. Okay, and obviously, if you want to go out and get one of these safeties or something like that, a big move like that. I mean, I don't put it past Howie Roseman at all. How can you put anything past Howie Roseman so far this offseason? I can't. But I don't think it's likely. I think when you would see like a move for like Chuck Clark or something like that, I think it would happen when you're in season and you're getting close to the trade deadline and you're a player and you're winning and you want to make a little run. That's when you make that move for the safety in the trade. That's when I think the Eagles would do it. But you never know. I mean, absolutely, who knows? But you can get better depth-wise. I think there are pieces to add. Like I said, defensive line. I still think you could add backup safeties, running back. You want to even add to that offensive line, I'm all for it. And then you never know what's going to happen. Is a guy like Andre Dillard, could they possibly move him? I still think you got to move Reagor. I don't see any way with Jalen Reagor being on this team next year. I don't even understand how you can justify it. Okay, the guy makes money of a first-round wide receiver, and he's literally your fifth best receiver. If you keep him on the roster, then the Eagles are going to be tempted to go ahead and play him because he's making however much money he's making. This is the thing that I think they got to stay away from. I think if you could move a guy like Jalen Reagor, and I don't care if it's for a late round pick, you could trade him for a old stale Cool Ranch Dorito. Doesn't even have to be a Cool Ranch. It could be one of those spicy nacho ones. I don't care what it is. Just get rid of him. Get rid of him because he doesn't need to be on this team. He's just taking up space as far as I'm concerned. So if you can get something for him, do it. Andre Dillard, Andre Dillard, if they want to keep him, I totally get it. You can never have enough offensive linemen. But if you could also get something for him because he could go play left tackle somewhere, you do it. If Dillard was able to play right tackle and left tackle, I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't even think about it. But the fact that he's only left tackle, in my opinion, I think you got to try to move him. And you got to try to move him to a team that is looking for a left tackle. It makes a lot of sense. So there are moves to be made on this team. There are going to be moves that are still going to be made. Are they going to make the big splash? That's really the question, right? I said I thought they had one big move, and then that wind up being James Bradberry. Do they have one more? That's the question we all have to wonder. I don't know, but I do expect signings like this, maybe even some more significant signings than this, to be coming over the course of the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's what I think is going to happen, but we'll find out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. It is time for me to go and watch Better Call Saul. It is Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. It's a bad idea to take your wife to the store an hour before your show comes on. She'll tell you, I only need a few things and I'm going to be quick. Quickly, a few things turns into 2 baskets of crap. Then you're sitting in the car waiting for at least 45 minutes. You can't win. Don't fall for it. Denzel Washington, out.